I once again want to thank you for all of this helpful information that you are sharing with us. And keeping in the subject with the resurrection plants, these resurrection plants, their sugar, could it benefit in total skin's cosmetics?
You know, it depends on the resurrection plants. Now, all of them that we've looked at make a lot of sucrose, which is something that you and I have in our tea and coffee every day. But there's another little sugar called trehalose, which is not made by all resurrection plants, but by some. And that molecule has been shown to be incredibly good at protecting animals from drought water loss as well, tardigrades, nematodes, and things like that. So it's an interesting sugar, and in large quantities, it's a membrane protected, and in small quantity, it's a signal molecule, which sometimes help the plant to actually break down toxic compounds that it's been taken in. So in my opinion, I think there's a lot more work that needs to be done, but this particular little sugar has a lot of benefits on the skin and to humans, possibly at an autophagic level even.
That would be helpful too, so fingers crossed. Is there, in your opinion, a possibility of achieving a strategic alliance with laboratories to develop a cosmetic active ingredients from African resurrection plants?
I think that is it's a huge possibility. I think what one has to realize, two things about them is, yes, they are very likely to produce good actives, but two, they grow very slowly. And so your campaign and your strategy has to realize that you're not going to be able to harvest a whole lot every year. They do not make those powerful actives if you allow them to live too much of a cushy environment. So you've got to keep stressing your plants to make the right actives. And so your model would be, yes, we've got these absolutely superb actives, but we can't produce masses at any one time.
Now, important you said that, and we would like to take this moment to let you know and to let the people know also. Us in Grupo Fania, we have a great interest in resurrection plants. We currently have acquired an exclusivity with the InnovaVN laboratory established in Bulgaria. InnovaVN has developed a unique proprietary method in vitro cultivation of Harvard-Lee rhodophysis. This is a scientific breakthrough that provides numerous advantages compared to the micropropagation cultivation technique used so far. It allows for a large-scale production of enriched Harvard-Lee extract in a sustainable and eco-friendly way. What motivates us to work hand in hand with the assets of InnovaVN for the development of our cosmetic is precisely social responsibility and respect for the sustainability of these precious plants. We mentioned that because we have been able to hear about cases in which one of these plants has lasted a decade without seeing water and comes back to life when hydrated. And so we want to ask you, don't resurrection plants simply just die? They just never die?
They do. You can kill them. And the way to do that is to actually allow them to have a little bit of water, but not too much. So that they've either got to live in an all or nothing state, fully hydrated or fully dry. In the fully dry state, they can last, depending on the complexity of the chemicals that they lay down at the end of the drying period, they can last in what we call a glassy state for years. But if in the environment there is fluctuating relative humidity and water, and those leaves get wet and dry, and ultimately that causes aging in the plant, and ultimately it will kill off the resurrection plant. Some species last much longer than others, and there are those that there are two major groups that you could divide them into. One group that keep their green during drying, so they remain green, although they start to look very pink due to the phytochemicals they accumulate. And the others that literally break down their chlorophyll, just break everything down. And the breakdown method is much safer for the plants, and they can last much longer because if you have a lot of chlorophyll in your tissues, that's going to cause damage, reactive oxygen species damage. And so the ones that keep their green tend to die off quicker. So it's a relative question. Yes, they will die, especially if you put them in really awful environments that allow them to take up a bit of water and then dry, and take up a bit of water and dry.
We have also heard in other interviews highlighting the power of the antioxidant of the resurrection plants, 30 times more powerful than vitamin C. The concern of many ladies is in about what time after using these phytochemicals in topical creams can there be visible results on their skin?
Okay, so that's anecdotal evidence of 30 times better than vitamin C relates to a plant called Myrothymnus flabellifolia. Not all resurrection plants make that powerful antioxidant, or as cumulatively as powerful antioxidants. In general, if you're adding a very good antioxidant to your skin, it will stop any ongoing damage. So it maintain your skin will maintain it for as long as you're using the antioxidant on your skin. But in terms of whether it will visibly improve your skin, I think that depends on the type of phytochemical or antioxidant that comes out with your plant. So Myrothymnus, the main antioxidant is a gallotannin, and it is very, very, very powerful. I'm not sure what Haberlea's main antioxidant is, but these, what we call specialized chemicals, tend to be called that because every plant makes their own little suite of specialized phytochemicals that help them to protect themselves from environmental stress and from animals eating them. So these chemicals not only act as antioxidants, but they have a whole lot of other properties, such as, in some instances, wound healing. And if you think of putting some of these phytochemicals or actives onto your skin, you know that they can heal a wound. I think that will actually, and there is some evidence for it, will actually cause an anti-aging effect. In other words, you will look younger. But I don't think, again, that's a lot of me just postulating. But I do know that if you use a good antioxidant on your skin, it'll stop all damage from that moment onwards.
Doctor, we want to thank you for your time here with us today. And before we let you go, there is a question that we would like to ask you, and it might be a little bit off the top of the subject. How was your experience meeting and interacting with Kate Blanket, Doctor? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
I felt what an amazing woman she is. First of all, when the first time I was face to face with her, she wasn't dressed up at all. She was in a ragged pair of jeans and a t-shirt, and she was just so normal, but yet so gorgeous. She's a very deep thinking lady, and very concerned about environmental issues. Yeah. I feel very privileged to meet Kate. I really do. Yeah, lucky me.
No, that's great. Just like we feel right now, lucky us for having you. So, Doctor, we really, really want to thank you for taking part of your time today and being here with us. Us here in Grupo Fania, we really take these matters. It is, very interested to continue learning, implementing all of the methods that could improve our products and their environment. So we want to thank you for all of the information that you share with us today. And we are glad to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I feel the privileged one. Thank you so much. And have a good day further.
You too.
Bye.